Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through highlighting and coloring 3B to 3C hair, so stay tuned. Wait, I don't want you to miss any upcoming or new material, so do me a favor, go down and subscribe to my channel. Whew. Now that we got that out the way, let's get started. So today I'm going to be dyeing hair from a company called Meet Tresses, and it's from their Nomad Tarek collection. I bought 3 bundles of hair, 16, 18, and 20 inches. And as you can see, this hair is very full. It's very curly. I'm trying to assess how I can curl this. What is the best way? Of course, I want to keep my bundles in the inch order because that's important for application. But it does have a nice medium to high luster. And stay tuned because later on I am going to actually do a full review on what I think about this hair. Grab a pen and pencil. First, we're going to use L'Oreal's Quick Blue, and it's a powder bleach. It lifts up to 7 levels, and it is a dust-free formula. You can use it for on and off scalp application. With the bleach, you're going to need a cream developer. This is from Wella, and I'm going to have it in a 20 developer and a 30. 20 is lower, so it's going to process your hair very slowly so not to damage it. 30 developer is going to be more stronger. I have this mixing bowl and I have a mixing spatula, which I both got from Sally's. Next, you're going to need 7-Eleven hair foil sheets. This is going to cut your prep time down. It's going to help process the hair. Also, I have these clips, so anytime I need to separate the hair or segment it, the clips are going to be perfect. In order to get the tone that I want, I'm going to be using Wella's Color Charm in the color 12A/1210. This is going to take my hair to a nice blonde. The color says Frosty Ash, but unless you have it at a pale blonde when you initially highlight it, it's not going to get this light, but it's going to be nice enough. So we're going to start mixing up our bleach. Using a 1:2 ratio, you're going to take your bleach and you're going to take your developer and you're going to add them to your mixing bowl. I'm just eyeballing it here. This is just from experience, and you're just going to gently mix it, not mixing it too harsh, but just working those ingredients all together until you get a nice creamy consistency. If you're unsure as to the consistency, you can always add a little bit of developer just to make sure it's creamy. You mixed your bleach, you have it on standby. Now you need to know how you're going to get this out of the hair. At my sink, I have the FANOLA's No Yellow, No Orange shampoos. My No Yellow is a purple shampoo that's going to cancel out any yellow pigments, and my No Orange is a blue shampoo that is going to cancel out any orange brassy pigments in the hair. I mix both of them together so I knock out both tones at the same time. You can get these off of Amazon's. If you are a blonde, this is a must. The next step is optional, but it's OLAPEX, a bond perfector. I'm using number 2, and what's going to happen is I'm lightening the hair, but I do not want to compromise my hair, so I want to be able to repair it from inside and maintain its strength and texture, and that's exactly what OLAPEX does. I'm going to wash it and I'm going to leave it in my hair for about 10 to 20 minutes. Make sure you have some type of detangling conditioner. I love Aussie, or I also love the Moroccan oil conditioner. And last but not least, a wide tooth comb and a hair clip for your hair. So let's get started. So I'm going to start by doing my closure. What I started doing was flat ironing the hair because it's going to be easier for me to dye it this way. And I'm using my Nano Silver 1 1/4 inch ceramic ionic flat iron, which I absolutely love. I got this from Sally's, and I just love how it maintains the shine in the hair and keeps it bone straight. So I'm going to flat iron this closure, and then I'm going to highlight it. And as you can see, this hair is so curly, and I straighten it because I want to make sure that I have accurate highlight placement. There are some people that I know, they'll highlight the hair while still curly, kind of like diva curl, but I just find it easier, especially for this closure, if I flat iron it and create the areas neatly where I want to place my dye. So my closure is flat ironed. I actually went around the perimeter and I sectioned off some hair and braided it. This hair I'm not going to dye. It's so my closure can look more natural. And I'm going to take very thin sections and just separate them. And the key with making sure that your hair gets lighter is making sure that your parting sections are thin and not too thick, so it can really suck up the product. What I'm doing here is mapping out how I'm going to do dye placement. I think I'm going to go more with a balayage. So I'm just gently trying to check the areas that I'm going to use. And I think I got it. So I'm going to go ahead and just speed this up, because from the time you start putting this dye on this hair, the clock is now ticking and you don't want to over process your hair. Meaning your bleach process, like I'm doing a 20 developer, so I'm not trying to go over 40 to 45 minutes with this dye process. I place my dye. Now I'm going to just fold up this foil nice and neatly and flat, and I am going to repeat the same steps from above. So I'm going to part out a thin section of hair that I'm not going to dye. Then I'm going to part out another thin section, and that is going to be the section that I'm actually going to dye. This time, holding the hair very firmly, I am going to place my dye going up the hair and on the back of the hair. Make sure you saturate the parts that you really want the color to affect. So that means doing it on the top, doing it underneath. When I'm up top and I'm kind of brushing it against the grain of the hair, is to create more of a natural effect. So part one of dyeing this hair is finished. I washed it, conditioned it. I put it in 2-strand twists to maintain the curl pattern. And I just want you to see how beautiful this color came out. If you can see, it's a little bit brassy in some sections, which is normal. Honestly, I could leave it like this, or I can go in with the Wella color charm later, which I'm going to do to make it a lighter blonde. I'm also going to bleach the knots to this hair to make that look more natural. In addition to the closure, I went ahead and I bleached this 20-inch bundle of hair, and the colors again came out beautifully. You know, it's something to look forward to in the rest of the video. If you can see these little light strips of color, I'm going to actually go in and I'm going to put a little bit more bleach on them because I want to create higher lights. Now let's get into how I dyed the bundles. You're going to separate the hair into a handful of sections, alternating clips to section it off from each other. This is going to help your process be so much easier. You're going to make sure that your tracks are double tracked, so you're not spending your whole day dyeing this hair. Alternating the hair from hair that you're not going to dye and hair that you're going to dye. So I'm going to leave one piece down and I'm going to pull another piece up. I'm going to pull another piece that's going to stay down, and I'm going to pull another piece up. And I'm just going to complete this pattern until I'm done with the row. Generally, my last piece that I leave is a piece that is going to stay the same color. Again, I took a lot of time trying to figure out what was the quickest way to dye this hair, because it's a lot of hair, it's very coarse, and it can be time consuming and also confusing if you don't have a method. And I just found that this method was perfect. It worked. I dyed 3 bundles. Honestly, after the first bundle, I was like, I'm not doing this again. But my hair has to be consistent, so I had to dye the other 2 bundles. But just watch, I'm going to complete this process and then I'm going to show you how I go about adding a color. Okay, so I finished sectioning the hair for this one section. I have about 6 sections of hair. This is just one. So we're working one section at a time. Lay your foil down and then you're going to get a generous amount of dye and you're going to start working that into the hair. I generally like to keep about 1 to maybe 2 inches of hair from the top of the tracks left unbleached. So again, it gives that nice grown out natural look. And I'm going to saturate the hair with this bleach, including the ends. Make sure you get the ends, make sure you work it into every last single strand, including the strands on the back. So I'm finished adding bleach to this first section. I'm going to foil it up and I'm going to take this foil and I'm going to add it to the hair that I'm not bleaching in that same section. I'm going to take that first section, move it to the side. You can section it off with a clip and I'm going to move on to the next section. Remember, time is of the essence now because you laid down your bleach. Now that I'm waiting for the hair in that bundle to process, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my previous bundle of hair that I already went ahead and highlighted, and I'm going to pull out some random strands that I'm going to re-bleach. Now, disclaimer, I am not a licensed professional. I am someone who loves to play in hair. I've been doing it for years. Typically, you're not supposed to double bleach hair, but because I know what I'm doing, I'm not too worried about it. But I'm just going to take some of my bleach and I'm going to add it to this already bleached hair, and I'm going to let it sit for just a little bit, not too long. It's not going to sit the same amount of time as the hair that's being freshly bleached, and it's going to just make higher highlights for me, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have some highlights, a little bit of lowlights, and then I'm going to have the dark hair color. So again, I'm going to just apply this bleach generously over this hair, about 1 to 2 inches down. I just realized the entire time that I'm bleaching all of this hair, I do not have on gloves. While you're getting your supplies, just please make sure you pick up some latex gloves to protect your fingers while you're using these chemicals. Bleach is very strong, so make sure you have gloves. So while the hair is sitting, I went and threw some bleach on the knots of my closure. If you look closely, you can see that there's these little black knots where they actually tie the hair into the lace. So we want these to look like natural scalp. So I put some bleach on those and laid it on top of a piece of foil. Also, I'm also going to add some highlights to my closure. Now we're going to work on our permanent hair color mixture. Taking 1 part of that Wella, we're going to take that, pour it into applicator bottle. Use the same bottle to pour in the developer twice, and we're just going to mix that up. Make sure it's nice and mixed in. As you can see, it's a point on this bottle that's going to make it so easy to add it to the hair. Look at this hair. It came out so beautiful. I'm so happy. And again, honestly, if I don't want to add this permanent hair color, I really don't, but I'm going to. As you can see, if you can tell, like the parts that are more blonde than the others. And now I'm just going to squeeze that applicator all over my hair. I'm going to massage it into my hair, and I'm going to put it aside to develop. 20 minutes have passed since I added the permanent hair color, and I'm going to rinse it out, and I'm going to wash my hair. Now please note, when I washed out my bleach, I did use my purple shampoo. For every part of this process, I'm using a purple shampoo, the purple and blue shampoo, which is going to cancel out any yellow or orangish tones that may make my hair look too brassy. So I'm just working it through, making sure I get a good wash. I actually put a hairpin on this hair so I can tell which bundles are which. Like, I know this is my 20-inch bundle. So whether you use a colorful tie, a hair tie to tie up your bundles, that's one cool way to know if you have different lengths hair, which bundle is which. After rinsing the hair very well, you're going to take your OLAPEX number 2 and you're going to put about a quarter amount onto your hair. Make sure you comb it through, mix it in, and again, we're going to let this sit for a minimum of 10 minutes on a hair. You can let it sit longer. OLAPEX is also great for your own natural hair. If you're someone who likes to dye your hair, using OLAPEX will really preserve, I'm telling you, it's going to preserve your texture. I remember the first time I was trying to bleach my natural hair to white, and I had to bleach my hair about maybe 5 times. And not only did my hair fall out, it made my hair completely straight because it was just too many chemicals. But what I did later on and what I learned is using OLAPEX actually not only helped restore my curl pattern, but it also helped strengthen my hair after bleaching it. Now, as you can see, as I've been going through this process, this hair has a very nice curl pattern. You still have to detangle it. I'm going to twist this up almost like into a bun and put it to the side. But this hair can go from being curly to bushy really quick. So this is why, again, like, I'm detangling it, why I put it in 2-strand twist after I wash it and condition it. is to hold the curl pattern and so it's not turning into one big bush, because it does have a high maintenance when it comes to it. So I'm working on my last bundle and I'm rinsing my Wella out, and I'm just going to repeat the same steps. Rinse out, wash with my shampoo. I'm going to rinse that out and add the OLAPEX. I'm going to then put in my leave-in conditioner, let that sit for some time, twist this hair into 2-strand twist and throw it into a dryer. One other tip that I didn't leave earlier: when I rinse my hair out, when I'm washing it with this shampoo, I do leave the shampoo on for a little bit. Now, blue and purple shampoo, typically this is very highly concentrated, so you can leave it for 2 to 3 minutes. I leave it on for about 10 minutes. You just have to monitor it, because your hair will turn blue if, like, one, it's not watered down, or if you're not watching it. So I'm leaving it on here for longer, but I'm also watching it to make sure it's not turning my hair any crazy colors. So I had my hair installed. The dye came out beautifully as they're going down. Right now I have it in 2-strand twist, and I just want you to notice how, like, the colors pop out. Like, I'm truly in love with the color job that I did on this hair. I hope you got a lot of helpful tips from me in regards to dyeing 3B to 3C hair. I just love how curly it is. And again, like I said, later on I am going to do a review on this hair in general, and, you know, give you all the details about do I recommend buying it or not. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon.